And welcome back to Jesse Hill's Airsoft Corner, and today we're going to be talking about another gun today. I was very privileged to get very good discounts due to my frequent buying from evike.com. Again, evike.com, one of my personal favorite places to buy. Let's jump right into it. Today I'm going to be doing something something personal that I really like in the real steel gun world, and that is the Revolver. Now, the Revolver and the mag-fed pistols are under heavy debate of which ones are better. Whereas you have more rounds in the mag-fed pistol, you don't have the option of switching out rounds such as the Taurus Judge or even my personal one that I own, the Chiappa Rhino 50DS, which you can shoot both 357 Magnums and 38 Specials. It just depends. Where one, you'd have to change the receiver out completely to put a new type of round in. The other, you can chamber several different types of rounds, but you can only carry as much as the cylinder will allow. So, let's just jump right into it. Today I'm going to be talking about the Dan Wesson gold-plated 2.5 Revolver. That's right, gold-plated. It is totally boss. It is so awesome. It is a 6-shot, and you're going to learn some pretty cool things. So, let's get right into the box contents, shall we? Now, it doesn't come with much. There is no hop-up adjustment on this, which I thought was a little bit disappointing, but with the power this thing has, I call it the yellow jacket for a reason. So, let's get into it. It comes with a little tactical rail you can get inside. It has some little screws there for you. The gun itself, if you do take off the top sight, you can place that on, put a little lame scope on there, which personally I don't see the point of doing because it just it's unnecessary with airsoft the way it is and the windage and everything. It'll throw the bullet whatever way it wants to, and there's not much you can do about that unless you continually change hop, which I don't recommend because you're not going to really have time to do. Once again, I played a professional arena, so I think I would know this kind of stuff. So, the gun itself is gorgeous. It's got a very heavy weight. The handle is made of a special polymer, which is very nice. It's got the little trademarks on it, the DW for Dan Wesson, and it's even signed by Mr. Wesson. Well, not really, but it's on there. But this is a CO2 handgun. So yeah, so you automatically know that most of your professional realms of playing, in your indoor places only allow about 350 FPS. This thing goes well over at 490. That's right, a wallop. Most sniper rifles for airsoft communities only go up to about 400. So this surpasses it by almost a bill. So, more about it. It can be single action. You can activate it like so. Pull back the hammer. I'm going to release that really quick, gently. But you can do so like that. I did find a little quick fact. If you do buy a Dan Wesson full metal, the lubricant they use is almost very waxy. It takes time to break down, especially in the cold weather when I received this in November. I know it's been a while. I should have done this earlier. But it can be a little waxy with a little bit of silicone oil. They can mix together and it can become well lubricated. But it can be very sticky. The trigger right here can be very stiff. But, with some work, it's now a little looser. Thank goodness. It's really nice. It's, not like a lot of those lame pistols you see. I'm a personal fan of the Biohazard, also known as the Resident Evil series. And they're all made of plastic. It's like, this is made of metal. A nice, beautiful, heavy-handed handgun. Of course, you got the orange tip, which, as you guys know, I am the worst guy at taking off orange tips. So, yeah. But anyway, it comes very well made. No pot metal here. It's very nice. It's very well done. I'll show you the CO2 cartridges that I personally use for it. I use the Crossman metal CO2 cartridges right here. Really nice. They fit in there just perfect. Just toss one in there. You're going to have to use a regular size shell. The longer CO2 will not fit in there. There's just no way. But you screw it in there gently with this. This is plastic, this little screw, so gently torque it. I'd say grab it towards the base and pinch your fingers around the metal rod that pushes the plunger inside up. That way you can have some durability, because God knows, worst comes to worst, you snap the plastic off, and now you gotta go get it fixed. That would suck. Worst nightmare ever, and then you can't get that stupid CO2 cartridge out of there. So, yeah, just try to think with your head, be a little more conservative with it. This is gonna be shocking. I didn't expect, like most gas guns, my guns just run out really quick. With my Uzi and my other guns, they just, you don't even get to empty out the mag. But with this This has got to be the most conservative airsoft gun I have ever used in my life, and that's saying a lot. I with 6 rounds in each cylinder, you can load in there. You can see right there, 6 rounds each. I'll show you the rounds later. I was able to pop off. I have 12 bullets, so I was able to go through them 4 times each. So that's a buttload of. I mean, I'm not going to go into the math of it, but that is a lot for one cartridge. And towards the end of it, it still wasn't out. I mean, it was just petering out. It was just getting a little weaker, you could tell. But it was going strong for upwards of 50 rounds. I kind of stopped counting after a little bit. But I was getting frustrated because I just could not empty this thing out. About 2 cartridges can last you a couple hours. If you use this properly, like a revolver should be used with a very conservative usage in a game, this thing rules. A lot of people say revolvers are not practical in a game. You know what? Let me tell you something. Most of the airsofters that say that are just too prissy. They're used to their M4s and their M9s and their 1911s, so they're in that niche. But if you can make this work, like I've made it work, it shows that you have the salt. You've proven yourself as a player. I can tell you right now that this would be a good loadout if you were out in the woods. Now, like I said, that 490 is really powerful. I mean, this by itself could be, the weapon you use. I mean, you wouldn't even need a backup because once you get hit with this, you're done. You're like, I'm finished. Bearskin, it sucks. My brother volunteered to be shot by said gun, and it dropped him pretty quick. I mean, it dropped him like a gang member getting tased. I mean, it was pretty hardcore. But the gun is very well built. The sights are very nice. They're adjustable with a special key, which isn't too bad. The front is fixed, of course. It's just such a good gun. I can't say enough about it. But the gas conservation would sell you alone. Of course, they come in the black and they got the longer barrels coming out to here like the Dirty Harry style. But I went with the gold because I was just like, how could you pass it up? If someone's doing a promotion where a buyer can get it cheaper, dude, heck yes. With what I spent on this, I could have bought one of the bigger ones, the more expensive ones. Originally, this was $155. I only dropped $99 on it. That is insanely good, but then again, prices may vary. But there are also, like I say in every episode, there are coupons for every place you go. You just gotta look for them and you gotta ask for them. But like I said, this is a $155 gun. I only spent $100, so it's pretty good savings considering. But yeah, it's like I said, conservative, really good revolver. Now, like I said on e-bike, I bought Speedloaders. These are only like $2 a pop. They're a good, strong plastic metal spring. I mean, I use these on my 357 and they work. They're not the fanciest, they're not the prettiest, but they're really solid construct. I mean, I'm squeezing it and it's not doing anything. I'm a big guy. But it's very well built, very well done. It comes in these little. One sec. There we go. Comes in these little brass casings. Like I said, the realism is really cool. These are wind gun. These do fit the Dan Wessons, which is really nice, and they can also go in the Mosin Nagant variant, which I do not have. That goes out, but yeah, they fit into a lot of revolvers. They've got a really nice thing going on, and you can place a little pellet. I use heavy pellets for this one because, of course, the higher caliber, I want something very slow, very heavy inside of it. Like I said with my last grenade launcher video, various guns differ, and so with this kind of gun, you are definitely going to need a heavier pellet because you do not want to injure somebody with a light pellet bursting on them. I've had that happen to me. Not saying that light pellets are bad, because some light pellets are very well made, but not every gun is made equal. That is the truth and the maxim that I live by in this game. But yeah, you can come in a thing of 6. You can get I think it was 12 of these each for like $10. $10 for 12. I mean, that's quite a bit, but it's not too bad if you really do want to have a lot of revolver. I'm gonna definitely be buying more of these because I go through them pretty quick. Sometimes the Speedloader, for some weird reason, I just can't position it right. A lot of the time, when I am loading this gun, I do run into a little problem. Sometimes it'll ground out right there, which you guys are in luck. It popped off right perfect. So, yeah, you load the gun in there. Sometimes this little part right here, this little plastic part right here will get in the way of this. making it very difficult to anchor it properly and make it line up right. But I got lucky again. Once that little metal rod in the middle touches the plastic bumper in the middle, it'll release them, drop them into the chamber, and you are ready to fire. I would recommend you rotate it once this way, counterclockwise. That way it locks it into place, and that way the cylinder will not rotate unless you pull the trigger. So, yeah, now that it's loaded. Like I said, I'm not going to load this up and shoot it simply because not only the weather is a factor, because CO2 is the hardest hitting of all gases for airsoft guns as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, I would be outside long after this video's over, shooting for, last time I checked, 30 minutes. So, no thanks. But I recommend it. If you're going to go out in the woods, it is definitely a very intimidating handgun. It may not look like much. I mean, yeah, it's gaudy looking, but I'm a sucker for, a good deal. But, it's definitely a fantastic little toy to play with. Remember, when you are playing, remember this is a gun. This is action sports simulation. So you got to remember that not everybody you're going around with knows that this is just a toy gun, even if you do have the orange tip on. So remember to always play it in a sanctioned area. Keep it holstered. Keep it out of sight. Keep it put up until you are ready to play with other people in a sanctioned, safe area where others will not think of it as a gunfight. So, remember, never point it at anybody that you don't plan on playing with. Also, keep your finger off the trigger. Just try to keep it away from it. That way, you're only firing when you're playing. That way, we don't have any weird firing. You can also use gun condom on these, where you use a little bag over the front of it, which I'll show you in a later episode. By far, this is the second pistol I've ever bought. I plan on getting a couple more, just for the sake of versatility. Each one has its own right. Remember, each pistol is different. Each pistol has its main abilities. This one is pretty much a sniper rifle in a snubby form, but just because of the size of the hit. But I tell you, it's a decent gun. It's a good little simulation item if you want to play, make cop movies and stuff like that on YouTube, or airsoft guns are famous for being a good prop. So this is the Dan Wesson revolver, and I thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. You guys have a nice day.